that once there's a new and
newly appointed.
No, but it's even different because her portfolio is executive secretary, and we have a CEO
and executive secretary.
And also
her position too.
Hey, and then she should just assume that.
I told you yesterday that I did a story.
Yes.
I left as the CEO, and then Kafu Danku's PA reached out and said, "Why did I leave as the CEO?" And I told them the CEO is not in the act.
Okay.
I've not seen their letter too, so I'm sticking to what is in law.
Okay. So officially, by law, there's a position or there's a portfolio.
Yeah.
With the inscription executive secretary. But there is no CEO.
I don't know if that is a new position being created by the new government.
It can be.
And I don't know that how we would marry that with the law at present.
Okay. So the executive secretary is supposed to be the person in charge of the administration, day-to-day running of the NFA.
Yeah.
So we have Kafu Danku as the executive secretary, who also doubles as a member of the board.
No, Kafu Danku has never been a member.
No, but the position, the executive secretary,
okay.
That position also doubles as a member of the board.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So we have James Gardner, who is also the deputy. My main man. That sector, the heat way they come from that sector, I like it.
But heat too much.
No, I like it.
You like it too much. Why?
No, I like it. It makes me feel good. So this morning we're going to continue the conversation as Juliet Asante recounts challenges that she faced as NFA Executive Secretary. Well, PK Sapon, member of the MPP, has publicly criticized Juliet Asante on her recent rants on her tenure at the NFA. And he also took to social media to also put this piece together. And a TV seminar, today we are in Ghana month, so I go fit do
a
TV seminar. A TV seminar is like the title or the caption.
Yeah.
A TV seminar, HSA, it reads, "Stop throwing a Akufo-Addo under the bus, madam." That is the caption.
Return bus.
So we want to know the type of bus. Is it an electrically powered bus, or it runs on fuel, diesel?
Who is driving the bus?
Who is even driving the bus? First year, no mamiana. But let me read what I have here. Dear Ya Asante. And for I saw people saying that the Asante, people don't know that her name officially she is Juliet Asante.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, that's her name. But number 4 person more funny say the Asante meaning a crusader, as in Ya Asante.
That's her name.
Yeah, but that's her name. Well, dear Ya Asante, I've read your piece filled with lamentation, challenges you supposedly faced, the harassment you endured, the impediments you said were placed in your way as the Executive Secretary of the National Film Authority. While I am not in a position to validate some of the issues you raised in your lengthy write-up, a few things tickle my fancy and deserve to be probed further to get to the bottom of the challenges that you said you faced. I will try to be precise and brief as I can. Number 1, you are throwing Nana Danko Akufo-Addo under the bus with the post you made. It's like Akufo-Addo did you a great deal of disservice appointing you to the place. You never for once acknowledged the opportunity he offered you to showcase your talent and skills to ensure that the film industry, which had been in the doldrums, got resurrected. The NDC is in power now, and they are all baying for the blood of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And instead of his appointees rallying behind him to defend his legacy, you have practically joined them in vilifying him. If you weren't going to show gratitude for appointing you, at least you shouldn't have given the NDC additional weapons to use against him. The harassment bit saddens my heart because I wouldn't be happy seeing a sibling or any woman for that matter given such treatment. I sympathize with you on that. Juliet, it's important. Deep in the dusty recess of your mind and heart, you know that not everything you have not captured everything that you reflected upon, the exact happenings at your place. You have engaged in exaggeration and twisted some of the facts to suit whatever. This word be big. whatever tendacious agenda that influenced this write-up. Let me ask, why wait till now? Why wait till now? Let me ask, why wait till now to gen us up with these challenges you say you faced? Why have you waited till the MPP is out of office to express these sentiments? You were not media friendly, as you said. So why the friendliness now? There is clearly an ulterior motive to this. My sister, what did you expect when you were appointed? Did you expect to witness a bed of roses when you got there? You were sent to an office which was not in existence previously, and the onus lied upon you to set it up, build stronger structures for the same to be built upon in future. It was your responsibility to make an impact as a pioneer appointee to the place. People are not appointed to offices to go and fold their arms and enjoy themselves. They are expected to bring in results. Reading in between the lines, I can clearly see that you weren't cut for the office. Others were sent to other places and faced serious challenges, but they rose above the issues and achieved great results. Those people have not come to use expletives in conveying their frustration whilst in office. You said there was no money to work, and you had to resort to your own personal resources to get the job done. This is a bit strange to me. The NFL commercial shoot you did at a cost of $2 million. Charlie. As you yourself told TV3, where did that money come from? Is it from your pocket? It's a question. Even if you weren't handed money directly by the state, but got the support from sponsors, note that this is the state's vehicle, that is the National Film Authority, that brought cash in and not yourself. The money was given to you because of NFA. Just note. The state is always constrained financially. The reason state agencies are sometimes allowed to go out of their ways to solicit funds for their operations. You, on the other hand, expected to be given millions of dollars by the government to undertake your activities. I find most of the issues you raised in your write-up to be problematic and pathetic. Why create the impression that you would never benefited a dime from the government that appointed you to head NFA? You were not being paid your salaries and all that, but later, as you said in your piece, you were paid all that was owed to you. You weren't alone in that enterprise. Many others faced similar issues, but they never came out to bastardize the government. Zina Asante, your daughter, secured a place at Emmanuel College in the United States of America for a pre-medicine program costing the state $41,000 and some change day inside safe. I must ask you this question. Are you a member of the New Patriotic Party? What did you do to merit that appointment in the first place? You have never shouted Kukrudu before. Yet the president saw something good in you to be giving the place to man, and this is his reward. Since your appointment, you never posted one flyer promoting the MPP or his flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. What makes you see? What makes you MPP? That's a question. We have lost the election. You didn't lose anything because you have never identified yourself as one of us. You see yourself as a politically neutral person. The reason you never saw it important to go out there to campaign or use your social media platforms to promote the very political party that gave you job. You expected the NDC to let you continue as the NFA boss. Kafui Danku and James Gardner were seen campaigning for the NDC in the run-up to the 2024 elections. What did you do for the MPP? Madam, we are still reeling from the embarrassing defeat that we suffered. I didn't know the show. Why add that part? We already know. But you had and still have nothing to lose. Some of us have lost everything. Charlie, we can play music small. allow us to continue to lick our wounds. Your dodges mean nothing to us. PK Sapon whispers from the corridors of the thinking place. Senior man. And PK Sapon is a member of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, and I don't know his position when it comes to the NFA. I don't know if he was part of the board or how related.
I only know him as an MPP person.
He has no
I
portfolio.
have no idea if he's.
How connected is he to the NFA?
I don't know.
Okay, so he's talking as a member of the NPP.
Yeah.
Or as a general member of the NPP. I think after Juliet Asante's post on the NFA and some of the challenges, there's been a couple of people who've come out to also debunk certain things that she wrote in a lengthy write-up. One that I came across on social. Yeah, Ola responded. I also came across one of Socrates Safo detailing some amount of money that FFA baby and all that. But then this morning I have my team of experts here. I have Mr. Robert Clark, I have Mr. Edem Chotome and Kwame Dazi here. Kwame Dazi has been butchering this case left, right, center. But
I don't think butchering is the right word. I've
yes.
been doing stories on.
Yeah, but you the butcher arm, because we are now getting to see the intestines.
That's the street language.
Yes, we are getting to see the intestines.
Okay, from the streets.
From the streets.
Okay.
We are getting to see the intestines. It was quite interesting to see people petition and the names of people that they believed were best fit for the opposition also came out to say, leave me out. It was quite interesting. But what's really happening at the NFA as we speak? Do just me a little bit, Kwame.
Currently, I don't know. After the announcement of the appointment, I've not heard anything again, because the last time I had a chat with Kafrida, she told me she was settling. So I should give her some time so we can have an interview. So as of now, I don't know what's really happening at the NFA. Okay. I don't know if Juliet has received her layoff letter yet, because I've not reached out to her in a few hours. I think the last time I had a chat with her was 3 days ago. So I don't know as of now, at present.
Okay. You're not sure if she's been able to get
elected.
So what we know so far is that there's a new executive secretary of the NFA. The outgoing one is claiming that she's not received her layoff letter. We also know that there's a group that has petitioned for the newly appointed executive secretary and deputy to be replaced with much more effective ones. And what we also know so far is that some of the names mentioned in that petition have also come out to say that they are not even interested in a position like that. This is what we know so far. But then moving forward, the NPP has also responded to Juliet Asante, who is supposed to be a member of the opposition party, that's the NPP.
Is she supposed to be a member of the NPP?
These are political appointments.
Because PK is saying, as an MPP member,
that is,
he's saying Juliet has never been a member of the NPP. Is that not what he said?
Not said Kukudu before.
Yeah, she's not said Kukudu.
Meaning, she was not appointed because she was MPP.
She could be a member and not say
professed or publicly.
Of course, that
maybe.
Yeah, so like.
But the understanding I got from what he said.
What he's trying to say is she's not an in and out MPP. Like
okay.
All right.
Okay. Well, Adam. Yesterday, you know talk song. So today for talk song. Yo. And put your microphone on.
Thank you.
Can I hold the thing for you?
Oh, I'm coming.
You can hold it yourself.
Put your phone.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Reading from
thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
It's quite unfortunate that we've gotten to this place, because if you look at the whole, issue surrounding NFA, I'm not surprised that we got to where we are today, because it looks like it was rushed. after the whole statutory framework was developed, where we had to set up, the paperworks were laid, putting it into action became what we call Boachibidin. So now the government has to be forced. In 2019, I remember, in Japan, and a couple of people went, went to demonstrate at the ministry in 2019 that the thing should be operational. And quickly, they needed to do something. And this is the results we got. So it's like we hurriedly do something to satisfy the people, because and they set the place in motion. In Madame Asante's letter, she makes it clear that somebody gave her the letter. I want to understand how that person who gave her letter ensured she had a positive environment to work, especially, providing an office and the necessary office logistics to work. Because if you set up somebody like that, you are setting the person into chaos and confusion. Why should you say, DJ Slim, take your letter, do showbiz review extra? You don't have a studio, no mic, nothing.
Yes.
What you go do?
Yeah,
On the streets.
Yeah, you are a street boy.
So in the first place, they are setting you up for chaos. In theory, Obi ka se mi kwa obi befu. Unam no obi koka. Boss be ye ma office papa. Then a board member says, "Hey, do this." Ube jalai. But I want to believe that this office was set up because when the president was swearing in the board at the Flagstaff House, he asked them to, put in measures to develop Ghana in the movie industry, and even made reference to the Nigerian industry, making $1 million, and asking them to do something likewise. So how do they do this likewise when we have not invested in? Why is it that we always want to sow where we have not, we want to reap where we have not sown? It's about time that as a country we do away with such mentality. If we really want real results, we need to invest. So first, you set them up on a weak foundation. Then, the board kicks in. Then, madam, you see, especially such people who are, there's a new office we've created. I want to, because Parliament, when they new members come, there are series of orientations they take them through. And the first orientation they take them through is how the new members will be able to, contribute to debate, make statements on the floor, among others. Then they move to the next one of lobbying. Yeah. Among other things, which they have even, just this weekend, they have been at Voters Hearing Hotel.
Yeah. The minority is saying they won't go.
Over course, but over the years they've gone. That's beautiful. Yeah. So the parliamentarians are taking to orientation. Now you are bringing some people new into corporate governance. You've set up a structure of corporate governance. I want to believe that they took them through the necessary orientation, because, in corporate governance, the role of the board is very crucial into, making major policy decisions which will be the, change the status quo or lead the organization into a success. So if you understand corporate governance and the role of the board, you need to have that collaborative, atmosphere to be able to succeed. Because from all we are hearing, looks like they got to a point where it's like somebody feels I'm the boss, but others want to control me. And that, for this reason, I will also not kowtow to you. Then, if you not kowtow to me, we will make things difficult for you. Then the person decides that if that's the case, I will forget you. And this is where we are. At the end of the day, is it for the interest of the movie industry or for personal interest? I mean, what is it that you can't share with the board? And what is it that the board cannot look and say that even if we have personal issues with this person, this very proposal will inure to the benefit of the industry, so let's go with it. I mean, why are we doing this to ourselves as an industry? That always, if we are in a group handling something, if it has to be one person who will bring the proposals and it even looks good for our good, since it's not coming from us, we will frustrate the person. I mean, we need to put our industry first, because this is not the first group we have in the area to look at a sector's growth. There are so many of such, structures around. And those people have been able to sit down and look at how best they can fix their industry. But Yenkwade, Ko Musica, Ko Gamu, Actors Guild, why? Aden, DJ Slim, why?
I have no idea.
To the extent that if some people are even giving positions to creatives, are giving positions to be in the creative, they are running away. Why? Charlie, that thing is, and just the new, as the fire day the place, the new team which is coming now, ya Soja Idiomochi.
Oh yes.
What is that? I think we need some national prayers to fix the creatives.
You believe
some spirit should be driven away. Because have you been to creative meetings before? Without any substantive agreement or like, what is this? I mean, we need to. We've got to, because the world is running. It's running. We've gotten to the point that we need to. Look at the interest. This new team which is coming, they should look at where these people fail and ensure that they do not repeat such mistakes. Else, you basically ABC.
Okay.
My break.
Okay. Well, before I let Mr. Robert Clark in, there's also a quick update that I also need to chip in. There's following the same conversation on as partner station, that's Peace FM. Socrates have also weighed into it, and he talked about some of the financial malpractices. Is
it Peace FM or NIT FM?
No, NIT FM.
Halifax.
With Halifax.
Yeah.
Some of the financial malpractices that also happened.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
But the studio looked like that of
it's okay.
NIT is Ola Michael.
Yeah, it's okay FM.
It's okay FM.
Yeah, with Halifax. You could hear Halifax speaking.
Well, let me correct that. So speaking on OK FM with Halifax, Socrates have also detailed some of the financial malpractices that happened during. Why they look at me and laugh? Oh yes, sir.
Issues deal.
Some say I deal with many. Anyway, let's listen to Socrates.
Instances are money. I'm surprised she didn't put those things in her presentation. There are monies that have come to the NFA. I know there are monies. Maybe from how do you call it? MasterCard support. And in Myanmar, I think about 700,000 or so. That the board are not even aware.
Hey,
yes, cities.
700,000 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
NFA.
Yeah.
To Juliet.
Yes.
Are you saying this on record?
Not the board will tell you that we are not aware.
I was surprised if the board is not aware.
But,
government events.
But if you are a board member, no way. Who you are a board member?
The board then discuss even if it's
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you mean the board didn't know about the money?
Because all these things were coming up, and you are expecting the board If you're a board member, you sit there and you realize it. Won't you ask questions? So, Halifax, this thing, I pray that we just leave it as it is. Instances are money. I'm surprised she didn't put those things in her presentation. There are monies that have come to the NF. I know there are monies. Maybe from, how do you call it? MasterCard support. Any Nema. I think about 7.
Gentlemen, let's hold on. Let's hold our horses. I think I like the conversation that we're having in here. I don't know if it's...
and there's this piece too by Ola Mike, and I want to quickly
Why
go
don't
through.
we finish with Sokwe so we come to Ola?
Okay,
Hold
okay.
So following, talking about the lack of finances at the NFA, Socrates is also of the view that
They use NFA to
Yes.
get sponsorships.
Yes, and looking at also going through PK's Sapon's
NFL.
yes,
shoots.
he's also talking about certain things that happened during Juliet's time in office. But before we touch on Ola Michael's own, let me pick Robert's take on this whole issue. I mean, sure, say we'll follow small.
Yeah, I followed to a certain extent, and there are many sides. It's a kaleidoscope more or less, many sides, and if you want to listen to what people are saying, you might probably not get the truth. Because then people are going to share their perspectives, and it will be nice for these folks to be at the table. So that person A says, but when this happened, like, the reason why this happened was because of that kind of stuff. So you can get a fair sense of what is actually going on. Because for somebody to also be in the office and say that for up to 2 years thereabouts was not being paid, right? Then so if that happened really, then the question is, at the time that was happening, those who are speaking now about money issues, did you speak about the fact that there was no money and the person had to make sacrifices in order to keep going? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So at the point when maybe monies came in and then the person decided to use it for other purposes, why do you now have a say when you didn't have a say at the beginning?
Yeah.
Maybe the person did a lot of things that never went, attended to. So obviously the
He has
money
to
has come
reimburse
in.
himself,
That
him
kind
or
of stuff.
herself, yeah.
But is that even by law accepted? So maybe we don't know. But then when the auditing is done, the elements should be brought out. And then as a group of people or together with the board, some of these things should be dealt with. The board obviously meets at least once a month, once a quarter. That is what the act stipulates. So for somebody responsible for running the day-to-day activities of the organization, the person, the CEO, so decisions are going to be made on the go, more or less. And obviously you're supposed to end up reporting to the board as and when you have meetings, and probably share whatever plans you have in terms of what you have in terms about the annual plan, etc., etc. But we need to understand, for me, the thing is the organization didn't exist, or let's just say on paper it had life, but it didn't have life physically in terms of people, actions, activities, etc. So for somebody to have gone into that particular space with next to nothing at the beginning, and I'm not hearing anybody talking about it not being true that when she went there was nothing at the beginning.
Yeah.
What I hear,
Not even an office space.
Yeah, nobody is saying that it wasn't true. You understand? So for somebody to have gone there means that there's a pioneering stroke entrepreneurial attitude that the person exhibited, because the person literally pulled the factors of production together or resources together in order to be able to ensure that this particular office becomes functional. And so for me, by any standard, that is commendable. And we need to be able to appreciate the fact that at least we have an institution that is running that people can look into today, and it's able to generate some form of funding, so to say. So I'm happy that the progress has been made in that particular angle. And the elements, the conversations that are going about party this, party that, I don't want to wade into party politics and if this or that, but I think that she had a mandate, and she went on performing the requirements of the mandate, albeit we are hearing that everything was not as it's supposed to be. So in terms, so those are the elements that I would want to be able to wade in with respect to what the law says and all of that.
But going through PK Sapon's write-up, he also talked about something I believe we need to look at. You talked about the pioneering agency and some of the challenges that are supposed to be, some of the challenges that will come up as a result. But he is also of the view that that is the reason why you are dead. I mean, the man of the day or the first gentleman of the land believed it so much in you that the thing
yes. So she's deliberate.
Definitely.
Yes.
But then, so why complain? That is
No, I'm sharing,
that is his.
sharing the stories, sharing the reality.
Yeah.
It's not doesn't necessarily mean I'm complaining.
Okay.
I'm only telling you that when I went
this
in
one.
Okay.
I'm only telling you when I went in there, this was the situation.
Okay.
There was nothing. And I made something out of nothing.
Okay.
And so I'm sharing that information. And I'm saying that, okay, so I'm leaving. Okay, fine. So at the end of the day, the next person that is coming, get her this, get the person that gets her this. That kind of stuff. I don't think, from that particular angle, I don't really see there's anything wrong with it because it's making you appreciate what really went into the working.
What a period. And what I wanted to say to buttress your point on that, she didn't even say it when she was in office. She waited to recount.
She said something.
Yeah, but
The office bid, the salary bid.
Yeah.
She said those things when she was in.
No, I think you're saying.
But
when she
such
was
a
off-
write-up, like such a detailed write-up.
Maybe it wasn't something of interest to you. But if Kwame is saying that it was said,
I'm saying that
when she was
she
in
didn't say
office,
all the things she
Yeah.
said in this particular.
when she
letter.
was in office,
Yeah,
she actually came out.
She
to say some of
spoke
these
about the
things.
salary, spoke about the office.
yeah.
Okay.
So now she's trying to give an account of what happened, the whole picture when she was there. It's like a State of the Nation address. So she's
I don't think it's
State of the agency.
Adam, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is a post she's made on her own page.
It's
It's
not official.
No.
You didn't use the State of the address in an official sense.
No, but you
I'm-
didn't give it a quote on quote.
I mean, forget some.
beg.
Please put the quote on it.
There's a big quote. Sweater cracker. What I'm trying to say is that this is a period she has been there, and she's trying to paint a picture of how things happened during her stay there. Now that she's leaving office, like she stated, now that she has lost her job. So she's like giving an account. This is like an account
Yeah.
of what happened during
But
her
the
tenure.
the real issue is the tone of the write-up, because
could-
in that same in that same write-up, there are issues of
Slim, 1 second before you even get to that. I don't think it's I don't want to call it the state of affairs or what really happened. The reason is because you see, I don't see a list of achievements in there. She's done incredible stuff. And it's not even captured in what she's written.
okay.
So I don't want to see it as an official.
So it's not it's not
Do you understand
official.
what I'm saying?
But it's
Because
not- it
So,
don't be
what,
official.
so what then do we call this? What then do we call
so
it?
let's treat it as,
There's a
as-
reflection.
as it
Like
is.
there's a reflection.
What's the topic that she gave?
And
What is the content
what
thereof?
she put out is something which is crucial to her. I mean, if this is not important to her, I'm not sure she would have recounted all of them. This is really crucial to her, and that is why she wants us to know. You understand? And I mean, clearly there are sides of the issue, and like others have also come to debunk certain aspect she put forward. And this one thing, Ola, who's also the president of the Film Crew Association, they are part of the board, right?
Yes,
the
they are
Film
part
Crew.
They have a
Yeah.
representation.
So he said, setting the record straight. Ola Michael writes, I have always refrained from commenting on the affairs of the National Film Authority, NFA, to promote progress and unity. However, in this era of resetting, it is essential to clarify certain matters to pave way for the meaningful change. As the president of the Film Crew Association of Ghana, I am speaking to set the record straight. The establishment of the National Film Authority was established on December 19, 2019, following years of advocacy by the film guilds and association, particularly GAFTA and Ghana Actors Guild. For the first time, industry leaders united for a common cause. Subsequently, Madam Juliet Asante was appointed as the Executive Secretary, ES, with Mr. David Donto as board chairman, along with representatives from various guilds, associations, and institutions forming the governing board. However, from the outset, the board faced significant challenges, including lack of startup funding. At times, board members like
That
Akofa,
is confirmation of
board members like Akofa Ejeni personally provided meals during meetings, demonstrating her dedication to the board. That's why I see now. If I did it,
inference now.
well, he gave them food before. If I did, she for did it. Board achievements. Despite these challenges, the board accomplished the following: Film Classification Guidelines and Committee. A committee was established to draft classification guidelines, leading to formation of the classification committee chaired by Mr. Sokrisafo as per Article 8, subsection 2 of Act 935. Mr. Ken Ade contributed significantly due to his experience in previous classification committee. The classification committee was officially inaugurated despite initial resistance from the executive secretary, which is Madam Juliet Asante, with intervention from the minister. So it has to take Honorable Babrotin Jesse to intervene the resistance of the executive secretary from ensuring the classification committee works. 2, that's achievement. Licensing committee and guidelines. A licensing committee was formed to draft guidelines for permits and license for film practitioners as per Article 12 of Act 935. 3. Legislative instrument, LI finalization. The film tax team, after 6 years of pushing, got the NFA to submit a completed LI to Cabinet in 2024. Challenges faced. I mean, so it's understandable. I mean, when you set up a new offices like that, you need to have some legal frameworks, and they were able to set up some of the legal frameworks. Now he comes to the challenges. Challenges faced by the board: lack of board secretary. The board had no official secretary, leading to inefficiencies. Though Mr. Kofi Edinka assisted with minutes, the absence of a dedicated secretary was challenging for the board. And he put it that the absence of dedicated hindered their operations. 2, unauthorized committees. A local content committee was formed without the board's involvement or approval. Industry rebranding. Despite Ghana film industry being enshrined in Act 935, an effort was made to rename the industry without proper stakeholder consultation. After industry players petitioned the ministry dismissed the new name. You remember the Black Star film issue. Meanwhile, the act says there is a film industry known as the Ghana film industry. But the executive secretary decides to rebrand without recourse to law and other things. Then,
are you sure she did not consult stakeholders? There was a whole committee with renowned people.
No, the stakeholder. Your stakeholders may be different from the stakeholders she needs to consult. So it could be that the stakeholders she needs to consult were not consulted, but she consulted some stakeholders.
Donto was at the launch of that particular name. She was the board chair. He was the board chair. He was present. I was there. I covered that event.
When the Black Star film was...
He was there. He was there at the unveiling of that name.
No, the stakeholders may be more than...
No, but this is complicated. Please. Take
a film crew.
No, that particular portion where Ola says that without recourse, without consulting...
Proper stakeholder consultation. So it doesn't mean there wasn't a stakeholder. He wants
for me to see a whole board chair at the unveiling of that particular name during a ceremony,
But the outcome of the launch shown that anarchy which followed showed that there was no proper consultation, because it's like everybody was in arms to the extent that the minister was petitioned and this was dismissed. So if there was
dismissed, what do you mean?
Like the name, the Black Star name, Ayira Sisia.
Go on Wikipedia and search Black Star films.
I'm coming.
You go and check.
Oh,
I remember the minister wrote a letter that they should put a hold on the name.
Yeah.
He did not say they were dismissing the name. He said, put a hold on that.
So they hold
And
them,
that
come out the hold.
they were going to do some investigations, blah, blah, blah. We didn't hear from them again. So whether they dismissed it or they were coming to tell us again that we can use it or not, we don't know as of now.
Okay,
but
now
I went to Wikipedia and I saw the name there.
By Wikipedia, I mean,
People
for
can
research
edit.
purposes.
But if
I mean,
anybody wants to do any research, if they go there,
Yeah.
they can just pick this one
Yeah.
up and then use it.
but it's not the right place to go, especially if you're an academic. Wikipedia is not
And
the
do
right
those
place.
people who do their stories and write, do they care if
Hey,
it is
if you're a
academic
journalist,
or
you
not?
should care.
No, see,
But you
your
just said,
source.
See.
academic.
see.
Yeah, but
There
I
are
mean,
people. So
there's
okay,
a lot
If you
of-
are writing to educate, you should be
assuming
careful about
somebody elsewhere in Asia wants to write something about Ghanaian film industry.
yourself. That's why, because we're on radio,
And
I
I'm
want
just-
to drown
Charlie,
that
let's
one.
not belabor
You-
So,
that.
just
let
go-
me
just
finish
go.
it.
All we're trying to say is that
Yes, go on.
that particular
okay, you
aspect,
don't
we need to
worry.
investigate it a little bit more.
Then he comes to lack of petitions, governance issues and petition. On March 16, 2021, board members petitioned the minister regarding governance challenges with the executive secretary. Despite a meeting chaired by the deputy minister then, Honorable Marco Kreko Mante, no significant changes followed, which means that the problems the board was having with her, through which, as a result, they petitioned the minister, still persisted. Frustrated members eventually resorted to the media to inform industry players nationwide. 5. Lack of leadership and teamwork. Board decision and directive were often disregarded by the executive secretary. The 2024 Film Summit was organized without approval from the board. There was no report on previous summits, as well as transparency in how it was funded. 6. Financial transparency issue. The board was left uninformed about funds received by the executive secretary for programs and projects. Requests for financial reports were ignored. And now he puts it that at the final board meeting on July 4, 2024, the executive secretary was absent, preventing a proper financial review of the NFA. 7. Unauthorized appointments. A director of classification was appointed without the board's approval, contradicting Article 8, subsection 2.
Acts are not
the Act.
articles; they are sections and subsections.
Okay. Section 8, subsection 2.
Articles are for constitution.
This led to conflict with classification committee chairman, which disrupted operation. So it means all of these things they set up, because of confusion, their operations were disrupted. 8. Poor communication and disregard for protocol. Executive secretary frequently bypassed the board, and at times even the ministry. Queries from the board often resulted in heated argument during meeting. Acknowledgement and the way forward. Despite the challenges, I recognize that the hard work and the dedication of Madam Juliet Asante. I recognize the hard work. That's what he's trying to. Despite the challenges, he recognizes the hard work of and dedication of Madam Juliet Asante. However, to succeed, leadership must be collaborative. I welcome the appointment of Madam Kafui Danku, Executive Secretary, and James. While Act 935 does not explicitly establish the role of a Deputy Executive Secretary, the position was included in the organogram drafted by the film tax team, and the ministry which was approved, and the ministry approved. And then it was approved. That's what he's trying to say. To build a thriving film industry, there should be foster board collaboration, he put it. They should pass legislative instruments. I mean, these are proposals he's proposing. But what he's trying to say is that over the period, there has been some rancor between the board and the executive secretary regarding crucial decisions making. And you know, corporate governance, the board, when it comes to certain crucial decisions, board, you can never do that without the board. But regardless of all this, Ola Michael is trying to say that the woman worked hard and was dedicated. Just that, Madam Juliet Asante, just that she and the board were not boarding.
Charlie.
It's
After
giving. It's giving.
After everything that has been read, I just have one line. Juliet be hard girl.
Yeah, yeah, but
but
I'm wondering why at certain points in time there was some sort of, how do you call it,
Friction.
problem solving, if you like, from the minister's side.
Yeah.
Barbara came in at a point in time.
Mark
also came in. So why did the problem still persist? What should have been done to save the situation at that point in time? Why did we get here?
I think drastic decisions
Because
were not taken.
if Juliet's position wasn't one that towered over the board, why was she allowed to go to that extent?
That's it.
And
Pow.
then with the money bit, did the board also do anything to get money for
They are
the outfit?
what's the name?
What efforts did they put in?
Good questions.
Yeah, because you see, so the whole argument, the whole thing, or the whole complaint has been Juliet getting money without approval from the board.
Yes. No, it's not the whole complete. Holistically, it's there.
So from the
there's
other
friction.
side,
there's friction.
From the other
Generally,
side.
there's friction between Juliet and the board.
So I'm just trying to.
I think the
I'm just trying
issue
to figure
should
it
be
out.
the issue here that I'm getting the energy I'm getting is, I think there needs to be a clear-cut definition on the rules, especially that of
Was
the
there
executive
any
secretary.
instance where the board also went to source funding
without the
without the knowledge of the
consent
yes.
or did they even try to do that at any point in time? If they claimed at the beginning they didn't have money to even fund the NFA, what efforts did the NFA board, put in place to make sure they had the money? It's a whole
Section 4.
it's a whole confusing. I don't know.
Section 4 of the Act says that the governing body of the authority. Okay, so the governing body of the authority is a board consisting of a chairperson who is well qualified film practitioner with notable experience and an expert in the Ghanaian film industry.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so
the qualification to be
one
the
representative of the Copyright Office nominated by the Attorney General and Minister for Justice. Then C, one representative from each of the following nominated by the Minister of the relevant sector. So we have the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts. We have the Ministry of Communications, National Film and Television Institute. One representative from each of the following nominated by the organization: the Ghana Actors Guild, Film Producers Association of Ghana, Ghana Academy of Film and Television Arts, Women in Film and Television, Collective Management Organization of Audiovisual Rights Owners.
That's the composition of the board.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Film
the powers
distributors and and all of that, and it goes on and on. Then let me say the board shall perform the functions of the authority. That is one. Let me see, tenure of the office of the members. Blah blah blah. Let me see. Let me just look for the.
If we can get the powers.
They have
So there's board meetings as well, and then there's disclosure of interest. Let me see. Okay, you go on. Let me just look for the stuff.
I mean, they have some. If you check their roles, very very elaborate role.
Yeah.
So it's like they have some power that you might and this one.
Because if the ES,
the act-
in all fairness, if the ES
the
has
act-
the power, if the ES is supposed to oversee the day-to-day running of the agency,
office, yeah.
then with the board meeting once a quarter, definitely.
And
But
certain
that is
appointments-
a meeting, but
Yes.
it doesn't prevent you from
Exactly.
updating them on what is going
Exactly. But that is an update.
on. Of course,
But
It's an update.
Some of them will need.
It's quite different.
But
when
you-
you see-
some of them will need the
but you
approval.
don't always need to wait for
Yeah, I understand.
the once a quarter meeting
Yeah.
before you can.
I don't know if I'm
update
making
or
sense
you
on
can
this.
you can.
See,
pass-
some of them you
pass
need
on
the approval.
information.
Some of them,
Some of them-
if you are enshrined in their acts that you
Exactly.
need approval.
So that is where we need to. That is where
And-
we need to
and-
get.
and
to.
You can send a mail to maybe board chair. You can inform them. I'm very sure they had platforms that they shared
yeah,
ideas on.
she talked about
Yeah.
in a write
Exactly. So you don't need that once in a quarter meeting to update the board or to seek ideas from the board.
Okay.
I'm very sure they
And-
are always
and-
communicating on various platforms.
They are asked to play that certain appointment needs to be approved
Appointment
by.
of Executive Secretary. Let me just take it from there. The President shall, in accordance with Article 195 of the Constitution, appoint an Executive Secretary for the authority. The Executive Secretary shall hold office on the terms and conditions specified in the letter of the appointment.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so we need. So if you
If
don't,
you don't
have-
know-
if
you-
you don't
if
know
you
what
know
is
the
in
content-
the content of
Exactly.
the appointment letter.
But the board has 3-year tenure.
Wow. So that's something that's so that
What they came to.
something they give you power pass something.
And so the NFA board. Sorry, you're not finished there.
And then the functions of the executive secretary says that is responsible for the day-to-day administration of the authority
Exactly.
and is answerable to the board in the performance of the functions under this act.
Yes.
And shall perform any other function determined by the board.
Yes.
The executive secretary
Any function determined
may,
by the
may
board.
delegate a function to an officer of the authority, but shall not be relieved of the ultimate responsibility for the performance of the delegated function. So it means that in this particular case, if you put up a committee, it is legal, right? Yeah, that's what it means.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that because there was a point where Ola
And the
mentioned-
board too, and he made reference to some sections in their acts that it says that you need a certain approval because the appointment.
I get you, but all I'm just reading.
Okay.
I don't want to get into the back and forth because that one will be at the level. So the executive secretary may delegate. Okay, so I've already read that. The appointment of a secretary to the board. I think that's what Ola was saying was not present. In terms
They
of,
did not have a
they
secretary.
didn't
to
have
the-
a
So
president.
the ES had to double up as.
So according to what Ola said, at a point in time, Kofi Adinkra was playing that role.
But he wasn't a full-time person.
Okay.
Kofi Adinkra, I know, used to work at the NFA because he sent me a number of press releases for publication. Yes. So as to what exactly his role was there, I can't tell as of now. But he was communicating with media, liaising with media for coverage and all that.
Something is not too clear for me.
Not too clear.
Okay.
It says here that the appointment of the secretary to the board, the president shall, in accordance with the Article 195 of the Constitution, appoint a solicitor as a secretary to the board.
Okay.
So the president here refers to the president of the Republic of Ghana.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then that's the kind of secretary we
Okay.
have gotten.
Okay. For the board.
For the board.
Who is has some legal background. I mean,
Well, I think time is fast when we are eating so much
once-
into music box. I think
DJ Slim, in all this, what has happened has happened.
yeah, we should learn from this.
I think we should learn lessons from all that has happened, from the account of Juliet and that of Ola, and I think they're all right in a sense because you see, I've had these issues over and over again. So for them to reiterate them means that things really went on during that particular term, and if we're going to progress as an industry, this new administration, the new executive, they have a lot to learn from.
Yeah.
The board, wielding the power, and an executive secretary trying to show the board that, okay, I'm the one who is running the affairs of the NFA, so you can't show me nothing. Sort of. They're not agreeing.
Else then go show you nothing.
So I think that they should learn so much from this, especially at a time where we even have an executive secretary and a deputy there, and then we have a board, you have members of the board who are very knowledgeable in the industry. I think they should learn so much from this. We don't want to hear any other issue coming from the NFA regarding board and other leaders in that particular setup not agreeing on matters. And yes, to square one.
Back to square one.
So I'll just read 2 points and then I'll address an elephant in the room.
Okay. With that being said, who's the elephant?
White.
Well, for whatever this is English, so whatever it means English-wise, just that's what we're using. So it says appointment of other staff. So subject to Article 195 of the Constitution, the board shall appoint other staff that are necessary for the proper and effective performance of the function of the authority. So I think this is where there exists a little bit of conflict.
the
That
recruitment
the board is responsible, and yet she also has the ability to be able to have her delegations going on with respect to people. So that's one side, and then the fact that it's okay.
Okay.
So the elephant I wanted to address in the room is this: if you have a situation where your executive secretary has a direct conflict with the board in terms of no agreement, or you think that there's some form of non-compliance, really, what's the way to address this particular issue?
I think that is what in
that is the question I'm trying to ask. If you do have a situation,
Appointing authority.
appointing authority.
Yes, because they want, because when the president was appointing them, there is a certain task he gave them and advice. So I'm sure there's
everything goes
the
back
chief
to
of the chief of staff, the ministry, and like it has been indicated,
I
at
think
certain
the
point they
ministry.
go to the ministry.
I think the ministry.
Yeah. So because they are under the ministry, so
Yeah.
in this case, I'm sure that's why the ministry came in. But it seems that they were still unsuccessful.
Okay.
When the ministry. So
Adam,
if it
I'm
happens
just-
like that,
let me just play by your words. It said the appointing authority.
yes,
Is that a ministry?
ministry.
No, the ministry was not responsible for appointing.
No, but,
But
they,
the president-
they appointed and
Yeah,
put them
the
under the
president
ministry.
is represented.
Yeah.
I understand.
By the ministry.
All
The
I'm
ministry,
saying-
if you like.
That is representation. Doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily mean that.
I get you.
I'm
But
just
they
taking
hold
your
the
words
power.
because me, I don't know.
So like now,
gentlemen,
Abeku
let's hold-
Santana.
Oh no, but the thing is clear. Okay, not clear, but they have done it already.
Yeah.
Mark came in.
Yeah,
Barbara
Barbara.
came in. Should tell you that they were the people that
Yeah.
came to help solve the problem. But I am worried about how we did not get to the bottom of the issue.
Gentlemen, let's hold on to it as we are
And
eating way
talking
into
about the bottom of the issue, Ola in his statement said
want to
that,
bring it from the bottom to the
no.
top?
He says that it is his prayer that this time they get a board chairman who is firm and strong.
So there is also issue.
At the board level.
We are not closing. So there is also issue
board level.
at the board level, leadership. So maybe the board chairman wasn't so firm.
But it was
Maybe-
it's supposed to be clear
Because-
that the
you
Black
know why I'm saying that?
The
Yes.
branch of the Black Star, he was
Because-
there. But other members of the board are saying that they
when
don't know
board
about
members
it.
were
And they
complaining
are-
to some of
It's
us,
already
and in
clear.
the name we don't want, the board chairman was
Was there.
present at the launch, at the unveiling of the name.
Young Trey was in a series.
Give all the support we can so that these persons do not fail. Because where we are at in our level of development, we cannot afford to fail only to see that, oh yeah, we failed and I told you so. I think we just need to do ourselves a great favor by ensuring that regardless, we just succeed.
We
For me,
have
that's
to
the
win.
most important thing. We have to win.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Kwame Dazi. Tomorrow we will look at the responsibilities and details of activities of the NFA